Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the Aventador SVJ Roadster milestone car. And what I'm going to show you guys is what some people have already caught on to, and that is a very low upgrade build for live racing. This is not uncommon to see in the lobbies, and some people specifically build their cars this way to save resources. So what's a minimalist build? Well, it's a build that uses almost no parts, only very specific upgrades to get very specific amount of Evo, and that is anything that'll get you over 1000 Evo quick. In this case, all it takes is 4 stages of transmission with the right fusions, and you'll get over that. The thing is, you got to be careful with these fusions. If you don't have the epic fusions, you're going to lose hundreds of Evo points when you're tuning, which makes the car far less viable overall. So fusions makes or breaks these kind of builds because they're basically very little parts, mostly relying on fusions. This car dynos around a 13.2. I'm just telling you that. We'll go back and look at the actual tune after I do some racing. So it's a kind of a car that's tuned to a particular lobby. 13.2 is right on the edge of the upper edge of the 13.2 to 13.4 lobby, meaning most cars in this lobby should be running 13.3, 13.4, with some running 13.1s if they're tuned to beat dyno. Specific cars that can do that, like this guy here, the Aventador that we saw earlier, this car here can beat dyno, but a lot of other cars, even the Supras in this lobby, may not be extremely competitive. So it's not a car that's going to destroy lobbies with these minimal builds. You can certainly add nitrous and other things to push it further, but what it is that it just is competitive based on the fact that you have the lowest performance points possible at the highest Evo points possible for a given lobby. Plus you're dynoing to the lobby edge so that you can stay competitive in that lobby. That's the whole point of this build, is to put it right on the edge of a lobby on the faster half, and then be able to run the lobby and be able to have the advantage from just having super low performance points. And notice the Evo gives me the RP. This is a very good RP at that particular point. So that makes this a good live build for minimal investment with the right fusions. Meaning, yeah, if you're missing the epic fusions, this won't be as viable a build, and certainly it won't be as strong a build. But in the 13, 14 second lobbies, you're not going to have too many cars that are going to be really well built anyway. NSXR might be an exception here. Let me see how badly I get beat, I guess. So again, it's not going to beat everybody, but it should beat most people, and it should certainly be very competitive even on the races where you lose. So let's see if I can't do well here. Alright, so skipping the first 2 gears pretty quickly to get rolling. Usually without nitrous, I find shifting and letting third gear run out seems to help. This is going to be a real tight race even if I win. That's because the NSXR, again, is a tough car. So here I'm able to run under the lobby and beat him, but I'm now at the risk of bumping myself because now I'm running below the lobby edge. The lobby edge in this case is about a 13.2. You want to run slower than 13.2, not faster. And if you run more than once or twice faster in a row, you have the very likelihood of being pushed out of the lobby entirely. So again, control is important here. With this, even with this kind of minimalist build, the computer is still able to bump you. There's no card that is bump proof, just so you know up front, including the NSXR, which generally, because of its same kind of situation with high evos, can be pretty competitive without bumping, but if you run it hard enough, any car can bump. So I'm trying to find another opponent to race that isn't likely to bump me. This one's probably not a good idea because they can run under dyno quite a bit even at this level of build. Wow, okay, so I'm having a little tough time here finding somebody. Let me just pick any old person that pop up, then I'll go ahead and race him. This is where you got to make a judgment call. You just did a 13.16, I did a 13.4 and a 13.2 something before. So mentally, I have to keep track of my averages. I want to average around 13.2, not more. More helps, slower helps, but averaging below 13.2 would not help me. So that's the kind of the balancing act you're constantly doing as you're running these cars. All right, let's see how the Supra fares. Now, Supra's also shifted property beats dyno a little bit, but again, they're going to have a little more upgrade to run this 13-second bracket than this car that I'm using. So I do have the advantage of having lower performance points, higher Evo, most likely. I can't promise that, but most likely in this case. And again, I'm running it pretty hard here to stay ahead, but I can slow down a little bit and hopefully bump me at least down into the 13.2 range on that run, not a 13.1. So right there, 13.245, keeping it in the bracket and hopefully keeping my average not too crazy. So that is the ultimate goal of these kind of builds. Once again, it's very little upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and finish my key run here with this so I can get those keys, and then we'll go back to lobby and find out what, if anything, this car is doing as far as performance on the dyno. Okay, so once again, another race. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Here we go. You want to launch perfect as much as possible. These all perfect launches will hurt my performance, but since I'm kind of banking on the fact that my car will outperform most of the guys that are coming, I'm kind of not worried about that as the primary goal here. Alright, so again, I had to run kind of all out there, but I launched poorly. So again, somewhere in the 13.2. He's not happy with that, it looks like, so he wants to take me on again. No problem, we'll go ahead and run him. So this time I'm going to try to hopefully get a better launch. These close races are fun. Oh, that's going to be a botch run. These kind of close races are kind of fun because, you know, you have opponents that are kind of catching up to you, making it much more exciting. In this case, I hit the button way too early on that one. So that's all right. So I'm going to have to challenge him again because I don't want to. Oh, he left. Okay, I got my win. I'm out of here. All right, no problem. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and see if I can find someone else to get my last win in here. Get my keys. That's my goal. Now, would I intentionally run slow on certain runs? Yes, because sometimes if I'm feeling like the cars that are coming into the lobby are getting faster and faster, that means I'm moving up in the lobby bracket. That's dangerous. So what I do is I actually run slow, lose one, and just take the loss for what it is, saving my position in the lobby. Okay. So this one, we know that Porsche does have high top end, but in this case, with a little bit of lag, it's hard to judge it. I don't like it when they are lagging because it's hard for me to judge when I can slow down safely. So I kind of didn't slow down as much as I should there, but still 13.2 against a 13.4 wasn't that much of a difficult win. So that is the minimalist lobby edge setup for the SVJ as a demo. Again, other cars are capable of this as well, not just this car. This is just the one I happened to test recently, so I decided to go ahead and do a video on it. This is not anything to do with the Showdown. For Showdown, you're going to have a fully maxed version. I'm not going to build this car that much yet because that one is nearly fully maxed, and I want to see if Natural Motion would change their tune and let us use that other one, which incidentally we spent gold keys on and a lot of resources, or they're going to make you build the Milestone, which for all intents and purposes to me is the same car. So we'll see. Maybe if enough players complain to them about it, they'll let us use the other one. So I'm holding off on building this until the Showdown starts, and then go in a day or two before I decide to put any kind of resources into this car. But all right, let's take a look at upgrades. First of all, this car is running, again, just the trans. Okay, 4 stages with full fusion. The tune is basically as close to max Evo as reasonably possible. I do buffer it by tuning it to the lobby, meaning I could tune it to be under the 13.2 to a dyno that I have here, but then it pushes me into the 13.0 1299 lobby, and it's less competitive there. So what I did is I tuned it to 13.2 when I could also do this and actually push it into the low 13.1s. I don't want to do that because it puts me at risk of simply losing. And so the 13.228 is a good spot to be, or 13.238. So you're tuning two ways. One is you're tuning for the most evo possible without completely pushing your car to the limit. And then secondly, you're tuning to the edge of a lobby to be competitive. And third, this car does beat dyno a little bit with the proper shift pattern, so you can run a 13.1 something in those cases where you're really having a tough opponent. But again, I probably not do that and just reserve it for the situation where I just have to win for whatever reason. Okay, I'm okay to take a few losses if my car generally wins overall. That is simply to make sure it stays in a competitive winning lobby. So that is the minimalist build. This is more of a way of showing what's possible in the game. And you know, you don't always need to build a car a lot to make it useful. And that's really why I made this video. It's just to kind of turn you onto that idea and kind of hopefully get your gears turning about checking out your cars with starting with minimum builds to look at what's possible evo wise. All right. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to make them. If you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications. If you like this video, do leave a like because it helps it get bumped up in YouTube's search engine, and therefore more people will find out about it. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.